Welcome to the Andrea and Stacy show.
I forgot about our introduction. I'm Andrea.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm out of breath because I climb stairs.
Oh, man.
And my face turns red and my neck. Like, I'll go outside and, like, come back in. And you can see, like, the exact print of where air has touched me.
Oh.
I don't even know what that's about. It's not the light. I feel like it's just temperature change and then, like, a stark reaction. It's weird.
That
squeeze.
After effects of being sick.
Yeah.
Not fun. See my shirt Allison made?
I like it.
She's
almost
bleach.
galactic.
Yeah, I thought that too. It feels like there's some nebulous stuff going on.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I see about 1 million faces in it, so it freaks me out a little bit when I look at it. Yeah.
Kimmer's like that, sees faces and everything.
There's eyes and a big smiley face or a nose, depending on how you look at it right there.
Remember when I saw like those angry like hedgehog beaver faces in my shower curtain?
Yes.
I got rid of it. Like once I see it,
they
I
look
can't
demonic.
Yeah.
I saw those too. Yeah, they look demonic.
You really got to wonder if people put stuff like that in those repeating patterns. It reminds me of like N.C. Escher, you know, do the monsters and the birds. And
I always wonder if they just like, you know, they have the pattern and it doesn't look like it till they add the duplicate and it completes the face.
But if they're sitting there staring at it,
you have to think it comes out at them eventually. Well, I finished last night The Hobbit on audiobooks.
How was it?
It was good. It was good. I am glad, however, that I had seen the movie because it helped me to be able to listen to it at work and stop when
track.
Yes. So I knew where we were. But I got thinking it was kind of sad because I associated those faces with it. I didn't get a chance to
develop
create
your own imagery.
Yes, yeah. But it was really nice. And I guess because I've mentioned it a couple times now, TikTok has shown me all the Lord of the Rings talk. And there's a guy who goes on live to discuss lore. And he also, I think it's the same guy, he'll play a section of the movie and read from the book to show how well they actually did it. Like fireworks that turned into butterflies, and then he shows that scene. So he reads passages, but listening to them talk, because people ask questions or say things, and then he'll talk about it, that's kind of cool.
That is neat.
But, you know, I've always liked the movies, but I never did read.
On the book, The Hobbit, is that the there and back again journey? It's the whole Hobbit adventure. Okay.
Yeah, they're Dunsky.
Okay.
But it popped up, so I just played it. I probably would have done, you know, the Fellowship first if I had. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I probably would have started there. And
I think The Hobbit was the first.
Was it the first?
Yeah, because that's Bilbo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bilbo, in the Fellowship of the Rings, Bilbo's old.
Yes.
And passes the ring down.
So that was, okay. Yeah, it was Bilbo.
Yeah. Like Bilbo.
I don't know how many hours that book was, but it took me a long time to listen to it.
Was the narrator good? Oh, did you see?
What? No, my eyes. I was rubbing my eyes. Oh, it glitched. Oh, hello, little friend.
Hi, China.
We can always tell. We've said this before, but when Andrea first bought this computer, I'm not going to go into all the details. There was a problem. There was this glitch. There was a silhouette of a man right when you would turn the camera off. So she contacted the company, and they knew it was a known glitch, and their only real suggestion was just to cover the camera
up. Work offline.
And
to keep the camera down. And
it pushes in and you push it and it pops up. So every 4 or 5 ones of these we'll be watching ourselves, of course, in the screen, and it'll glitch, and you know they've joined in.
Just like a whole other room. Like. I mean, you only see it for that long, so by the time it goes, it's like that. Your eye does that where it's there, but then it's just black and white silhouette, like the eye.
They haven't mastered their loop in yet. No. It's like the click on the phones when, you know, phones were like this, and you'd pick a phone up, and if it clicked, you knew it was tapped.
Like, I don't know who would be interested in that. I mean, they could be in Nigeria, they could be in China, they could be in Utah.
Yeah, they could be anywhere. But they're going to see anything but this gorgeous tie-dye shirt.
I actually am digging your tie-dye
I
shirt.
love it.
I was thinking I need your shirt and then you need my peach, because now that see me in peach, it looks really bad.
This color is not good for me.
It's really pretty though.
Yeah, the shirt's great. I'm gonna go pick
you look good in it. I'm not saying it's not a good color.
No, I don't
I'm just saying I would dig that, and I think you would look good in the peach.
I look better in peaches. I'm gonna pick up like if they have them, a blue one, a red one, and just let her do it to those two,
that'd be fun.
They're like $5.
I look like someone tried to color a black and white photo. Really, it does, doesn't it?
It does.
That's really bad. Gray too. I never wear light gray.
You don't.
This was a comfort outfit I put on this morning when I had to leave in a hurry. It's weird what you grab that you've never worn before in your entire life together when you have to leave in a hurry. That's also how you end up with a Mary Tyler Moore hairdo.
Yes.
Because you were in the middle of straightening your hair and never got to brush it out. And then it's set.
I thought you got
I haven't looked in a mirror today.
I thought you got another haircut. That's how different it is from last time.
You said that, and I thought, that's weird. I get it. It's cut the way you pull the straightener and you turn it under. Yeah. On it straight. And normally I brush it out. Yeah. And didn't happen.
It looks inches shorter from just last week. And I was like.
And it got humidity in it. Yeah. Because I didn't put the hairspray, like. Just keep going.
We could really gym that out.
Like Jim in the holograms?
Yeah, I was waiting. I was hoping you knew who they were.
Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Oh boy.
Oh man.
It's been an interesting week.
It has been. There's been a lot of people that
It's been 2 weeks since we've been open, maybe 3. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah, I think we've missed 2.
Okay.
So it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people that we know, but not related to us, not best friends, like a guy I worked for, have passed away in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been crazy here in our little town. Lots of people.
Yeah. It's bizarre. I know now, like, I always wonder, like, my grandma has, like, photo albums with photos of people, and then she has what I call her death albums, which is where she's gone to funerals. She's one of those that takes a picture of the person in the casket. I always hoped she did that at the funeral home when they were, like, laid out to view, not actually at the funeral, but it could have gone either way. And then she'll have, like, you know, the printed announcement thing. Yeah. You'll be flipping through, and it's like, I always wondered where your mind would be at to do that. And I'm like, if you have an onset, like generations, like she went through when a lot of people died rapidly from different things, and like we're experiencing now, I feel like it catches up, and I guess you need a way to memorialize them, because we can Google somebody or find an image, and even if we don't know them, the friend, the relative, you can still integrate them into your mind and memory. For them, that'd be all they have, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's where you could go back to find out the day they died, the day they were born.
Yeah. What they looked like.
To show somebody. Yeah. The other thing that I think is gone is putting a baby picture in to announce a birth. Do they do that in newspapers anymore?
You know, that little paper in town and stuff. I thought that would have been the greatest thing if people would send in photos to announce they're getting married.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the announcement. They used to do stuff like that, and they don't anymore. I don't know why.
Both the kids.
Because we just assume everybody already knows, or it's online.
Facebook. Yeah, I don't know.
It's sad.
I've been dealing with the whole thing I was telling you about, asking a kid, like, to pretend like they're making a call, and they go like this or like this, and then you ask their parent to pretend to make a call and they do this. Or they'll say to the kid, take a picture of me, and they hold their hands like this, and then the parent will go like this. And I'm just like, wow, I'm watching.
What that is right there. That's the button.
Button.
On top.
That's the old flash. The that's an older flash. And I remember some of Allison's friends got in my car one time and didn't know how to roll the window down because it was a crank. Yeah. They hadn't seen a crank window before.
My niece has got that black truck you used to have, and they didn't have automatic windows. And you had to roll it. My oldest niece was fascinated by that.
Yeah. So when you pull up, you say roll the window down. Now you got to be like, I don't know. I said roll it. How long have I had my car in Jeff's?
You really can't get assertive with that.
No. No. That's another thing, slamming the phone down on somebody. Man, you call somewhere and you didn't get your way, you could slam the phone down on that poor, whoever. But now you're just like.
You have to announce that I hung up on them.
It's more aggressive.
I hung up on them. Yeah. I did it.
It's more aggressive now to just not hang up and lay your phone down and walk off. And then they have to hang up. But I was thinking about all this and I was like, if you had like Granny, me, and then like Sharon's kids, right? And you said, how do you talk on the phone? They would do this. I would do this. And Granny would be like, dial 936, please.
You forgot the hearing part.
Operator. Or you'd be.
Clear the line. That's great. That would make charades so hard.
Oh man. You should tell them about party lines.
All I know from party lines was like from the Andy Griffith show. Mm-hmm. My grandma said she had one, but she doesn't really remember it. Like, she didn't actively use it. But you would share a phone number essentially with a group of people in your area. Like the last 5 or 6 people that signed up for a phone would all get one line. That means that the phone rang in your house, it also rang in their house. And if they picked up the phone to call someone else, if you picked up your receiver, you could hear them. So, like, you would have to keep the lines clear. But the switchboard operator, you had your own, if I remember right, ring pattern.
Yeah.
Like, if it would go ring, 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 you knew it was for you.
Yeah.
If it went ring, 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 it may have been for your neighbor. To try to tone down the confusion, but really that's how word got around.
Yeah. Also, they would just hang out on the phone talking all day.
Yeah, and the line would be tied up. If they didn't hang up, you would have to. You could call the operator and have them interrupt.
Yes.
Like if it was an emergency.
You could even do that when I was a kid. Yeah.
That was your only option.
And the operators always knew the good dirt. Because they could hear everything that was being said in every phone call. But even when I was a kid,
sometimes whole towns had one line.
Yeah. Like if you called the line and it was busy, you could hit 0 to talk to the operator and have them do an emergency break-in, and you'd have to give them your name, and then they could break into the phone call and say, "This is the operator, Stacy, Crutchfield has an emergency message. Would you like to take it?" And they could say yes or no. And I remember when a bunch of girls found that out, they would do that to guys they had crushes on, but they'd use other girls' names.
Oh, no. That's great. I really we didn't have our own phone. I remember when we got our own phone, phone wasn't always in our house.
Oh.
I remember going to that Bell South, going in, getting that red phone.
Oh, yeah. You would go in.
If we needed to use a phone, we would go use Grandma's phone. Yeah,
you would go in and there'd be, at least here at AT&T, there would be the new phone models sitting on the counter. And if you bought this then you would get this phone, and you would pay them out by the month or pay for them up front, if I remember right. Yeah. And you could get really fancy phones or just a regular phone. That's where like the black basic phone came from.
You'd get the sleek model, where it would just take up this much room. Yeah. Or you could
get a wall model.
Ooh, the wall ones, which actually, also I believe came in like the sleek.
Yes, they did.
They were like tan and light blue, and the fancy ones were red, which I always envied that. And then, but also if you didn't get that sleek model, you would actually get one on the wall that had like a little receiver.
Yes.
Or it would hook to the side.
Hook to the side. Yeah, it had these little metal things and you put on the side.
Yeah.
And if you were really cool like my granny, you'd have like a 20-foot cord for the receiver, and it had this little spinny deal so it would never get tangled. And she could walk and still work all through the kitchen, the dining room, and kind of down the hall even with the long cord.
Or if you're like my grandma, you had about 6 spliced together because we rigged things, and it would tangle all over everything except for the coils that were permanently coiled.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
Grandma still has that phone.
We always had phone because that was Dad's, work phone. So that's why we had a phone. Then, well, not why, but I mean that's what it was used for. But when they were redoing the house, they put a phone jack, or it was already in the wall. I don't know, but our bathroom had a phone in it, and since there was a jack there, Mom plugged one in. And I remember, like, I was in junior high, and some friends came over, and one of them was like, "You have a phone in your bathroom?" And it wasn't weird to me because it was a cordless. It was just a
like
phone,
swanky, like New York City apartment stuff, right?
But it was just one you could grab close,
Well, that was the idea, and I think they could only put jacks. Like you had 1 or 2 places.
Yeah,
it wasn't like cable where they'd attach one on every wall.
And it wasn't one base where you could put the other phones throughout the house.
I guess Grandma's phone number is digital now, and she upgraded to like, she still has that phone in the hallway, but her real phones are like the handsets, like, well, you have the quilt shop, it's like 2 that goes to the same thing. Yeah. Whatever. Well, she was paying like almost $300 a month for her phone line.
What?
Yeah, and then they switched it over to the digital because that's how they do everything now. Dean's parents, like AT&T was coming out, I assume it was AT&T, coming out all the time because when it rained, their phone would mess up. It had the static in it.
Oh.
Because they still had the actual landline.
Oh.
So they took theirs out and did the digital, and she said that their bill dropped. But they were having people that were just hanging on to the landline, it was costing so much because it costs that much, to have somebody to service it and all that stuff. And if there's not other people to share that, because
they were relics.
Yeah. So
I remember our phone bill was like $20-something, and we held out for a very long time getting cell phones. And when we got a cell phone, I wanted to keep the house phone because that number is what everybody give people time. And so I called them and asked them what was the cheapest thing. This is the deal. I get it cheap today or I cut it off because we just got cell phone. And the guy was like, there isn't a cheaper thing than what you're on because I already got rid of long distance, all of that stuff, whatever it was. And I didn't have messaging on there or where you could leave a message. Can't remember. Anyway.
Voicemail or was it?
Yeah, it was. I don't know that that's what it's called, but that's what it was. He got me a deal where I could only make 5 calls a month, but they cost me $0.25 every time I did. So I kept my phone. I could receive calls, but I couldn't use it to call out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I used that for? When I lost my cell phone, I would call it so I could hear it. And after your 5 calls, it was like $2 a call because they didn't want you using it, you know. And so Jeff finally was like,
they wanted to. They figured it would be there for your peace of mind for emergency.
Yes. Yeah, it was just emergency. Yeah. Jeff finally said either you have to hang on to your cell phone or turn it off because this is ridiculous to pay $2.
And then sometimes when she was talking, but also needed the weather.
Yes. Yes. 411. Zero's operated. Of course, 911's always been that way. And then there's a Chickasha weather, and there's an ad that plays first, and then they tell you the weather for the day. And it's like um, I don't want to say the wrong number, but it's an actual Chickasha phone number that you can call.
Right.
And we used to call it all the time because we didn't know anybody to call. So we would call and let's get the weather.
Yeah. We just want to push buttons and use the phone and be important.
Yeah.
My brother would use my grandma Leslie's phone to call my grandma Dorothy. He'd punch in the numbers and he'd talk, and the lady loved talking to him. It wasn't Grandma Dorothy. We all thought it was really cute. The lady thought it was really cute until they got the bill and they realized it was a long distance call he was making. And long distance wasn't like 10 cents a minute back then. It was like
dollar
expensive.
bills,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So he was not allowed to call Grandma Dorothy. Yeah.
That was always fun though, just pushing in random numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My mom was one of those paranoid about the phone ringing. Like, you know, like she didn't like to answer it because she didn't know who was there. Like with an unknown number on a cell phone. So a lot of times she was one of those let it go to the voicemail.
Oh.
And then they got caller ID and then she got more comfortable. But you know, my mom's OCD paranoid. So.
Yeah. We would run and fight to answer the phone.
Yeah, not at our house. Sometimes she would turn the ringer off. It was weird. The phone was just like a very weird deal in our home growing up. It's abnormal.
But we were taught to answer at Granny's house. Because nobody was used to kids being there. I don't know before, like when their kids actually lived there, but we answered at Douthit residence because it would throw them off so bad that they thought, because they were pastors of a church, so their congregation would call. Yeah. And then at home, we had to answer Lloyd Turner residence because that's the number Dad gave out, you know, so it was about the most, instead of saying Pizza Hut, this is Stacy, how may I help you?
Oh, we did that too because it was fun.
Yeah, we did. Sometimes I worked at Mazzio's, and there were a couple times that I answered, you know, Mazzio's. And then I was confused, and they were confused, and then I realized I was a moron again that day. Oh, goodness.
We also invented the answering machine saying hello.
Yes.
Hello. Are you there?
Yeah.
Because we were just
yeah.
Got funny. We entertained ourselves. We're the generation that brings you the memes.
We are.
It's our age group that pumps those babies out because we have that sense of humor. We can laugh at anything.
We're the ones that actually act them out, and then our kids
we laugh at
make them into an image.
Yeah. We know how to make fun of anything and everything.
Man.
We really don't get into this generation, I don't think. There's what I'll call the pissy pants in our group. The ones that, if they feel like they've been slighted or put down or not special enough, may get real edgy. But for the most of us,
it just rolls.
Yeah, that's how we show love.
Yeah.
Way to go, moron. That's what we say to our friends.
Yeah. And we had Saturday Night Live to thank for that.
Yeah. We did not have any support groups.
No. Man. No way. Yeah, if you knew a kid that went to therapy, you thought something was wrong with them.
There was something wrong with them. To get to go to therapy, it wasn't to talk about your feelings.
No, that's true.
It's usually court orders.
Yeah. I just had two guys' faces flushed. Right. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
These three ladies came into work today, and they wanted their picture taken because they had finally made it to the quilt shop. So, I said, "You want it like this or like no?" Just kidding. So I found them a spot to stand, and they all handed me their phones, and I thought, well, I'll take a picture too so I can post it on Facebook that they came, because why not? So while I'm taking the picture, the there's 2 smiling and 1 she's not so much. And I got tickled about it. So I'm smiling because I'm trying to, like, I don't know if I should say you need to smile or is that your smile or what. So the one on this side says, you're smiling just like you're having your picture taken. And I said, am I? And so I put that phone down. I get the next one up, and she's doing the same thing. And I know she can smile because I saw her smile. But she's not for the picture. It's not a full smile. Mm-hmm. And so I'm in my head, I'm running like all these stories, like, you know, who likes who's mad at who, like all this stuff, just fun stuff in my head. And I'm laughing, like smiling. She's like, you smile. You just smile. I just love it. You're smiling while you take a picture and tell us to smile. And I thought, yeah, I've got a whole scenario going on up there. So 4 cameras because mine. Oh, wow. 4 phones. And she did it to me every time I was taking their picture.
You're like this.
It's like, what am I supposed to do after that?
Kid. Let's take a picture.
That's what that lady was doing. Like, oh, well. Mm-hmm. I'll show you the picture, but I won't show them because I don't.
Privacy.
I'm not really making fun of them. I'm
going to put them on the internet.
Like, she really smiled before I took the picture.
Yeah.
And she has kind of an upside down smile.
She does.
But this is the one that was just, she's like laughing at me in this picture right now. I'm so sorry. You're going to say it one too many times in a minute, and this is going to go away.
You're great. There were no selfies back in the day. You had to ask strangers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know till you got the film developed. A few weeks or days or months later.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. All I learned from that is I was really bad at taking pictures with cameras when I was little. It would all be like overexposed or dark. Maybe it was just the people that printed them. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was the
Because most cameras would have been automatic.
Not ours.
Oh. You got a fancy
We also didn't have what they termed a pointed camera.
Yeah.
We had, like, you had to hold the focus and...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You had buttons on it for, like, day, night, you know, like...
Fancy.
Cloud.
Yes.
And it's funny because the DSLRs try to put all those on there, too.
Yeah. Just
take the picture and you're going to do whatever you want. Yeah. It's digital. Make it look like we're on Mars. It's amazing how far things have come, changed. 4 or 5 years from now.
That'll all be gone.
You know, I used to imagine CDs becoming obsolete, and everyone's like, oh, that would never.
Yeah.
CDs will never be obsolete.
Yeah.
And then it's like in my mind, I knew they would be. But I didn't know that, like, virtual music
I just thought they would get smaller.
Yeah.
I just felt like everything was getting smaller.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it would go digital.
I mean, it could have gone to, like, the little plug things.
Yeah.
And then, I guess before it just went, like, streaming, it was, what was it? iPods, MP3 players.
Yeah.
Became a thing.
Yeah, you downloaded. Mm-hmm. It wasn't streaming, I guess. It was a digital download.
And then you thought, oh, that's cool, except it wasn't for me because I couldn't afford to download it. In order to have a computer that was capable of doing it.
And then you would use Napster. Is that what it was called? And it would take all night to download a file, and somebody would close it or interrupt it, or it would be corrupted. Yeah.
And then, so after people realized how pain in the butt that was, it was like iTunes was like 99 cents for everything, and then you put it on your thing, and then you could upload your CDs, or you bought your own thing, which was more efficient. But then they ran into, then people would just throw the CD away, so then you would buy that never lasted long. You just buy the code or whatever.
They first started putting the code with the CD, and then they started just doing the code.
And then they realized no one's really going to do that, because once it ends up on it, one person gets it, then everybody got it.
Yeah. The CD cases, you know, you see them now, and they're just these sleek little saran wrapped, plastic wrapped cases. But when those first came out, they were in this plastic theft guard, and it was this big thing that looked like a handle, and it clamped on there, and it had a piece of plastic in the middle, and it would go all the way around. So it was about this tall, and your CD would be in there, and you'd have to take it when you checked out. They'd take that off there.
Yeah.
But that would keep people from, or supposed to have kept people from stealing them. I think I've told this story on here before too, but I had a friend. He would go to Walmart and buy a cassette tape, and he had blank cassette tapes, and he would take the screws out and take the tapes out and switch them, put it back together, put it in the case, and take it back and say, there's nothing on this, you don't believe me, play it. And it would be a blank tape, and he would get his money back, and he would have the real deal in the other tape.
Great. So we got free music and a resale.
I found that out because he played it. It was like, had the band name written on there. And he had written all the he wrote it all out. Like, he spent a lot of time on this. And I was like, that sounds so good. What'd you use to record that with? Because I thought, it was just one song playing. I thought he recorded off the radio like we all did. But it was so clear. Yeah. And he was like, huh. Yeah. And then the next song started. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Yeah. But that saved me because I had a tape damaged, and I did that, traded it out, and it played fine. You just got to run it through those little felt squares and the little spindles.
That's awesome.
Oh, you know what I bought this weekend? What was that? I don't know. A book binder thing that you punch holes.
Oh, yeah.
And the little deals. Yeah.
Or the plastic.
No, I got the metal ones that do like that. Nice. That'll close up on it.
Nice.
So.
That's fun.
One day, I'll be giving you some binded. I want to use board games and playing cards and things to make books with.
That'll be cool.
Try that out.
That'll be really cool.
I think so.
It'll be fun.
Like the Monopoly card, the hard cards that they're like chipboard or whatever they are. That's what I want to use, stuff like that. We'll see if it works.
That'll be cool.
I'll probably break it the first time.
You'll make lots of amazing things. Oh, you want to see my cross stitch thing?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you've knocked out 3 of them now.
Yeah, and I got different, like this cross stitch fabric came with it, and then I bought this.
Yeah.
So these are actually smaller and tighter, and then these are larger and more spaced out because the squares per inch. But I'm just framing them all individually and going to put them, throughout so they don't.
These look great.
But I was actually thinking I liked that size. It was a little tighter. But see how these are bigger?
Yeah.
Because the squares are bigger.
Yeah.
But the images are, I don't know,
the same.
This says,
"Oh, your bananas."
Yeah. Picture it. Sicily.
Blanche. What? I don't have my glasses on.
It says, "Flirting is part of my heritage." Now, that's the one I just picked out what I liked and put it all together. Because, I didn't like the ones that they did for her. Yeah. It was like high heels and lipstick.
Yeah.
I was like, she wasn't really into that. And then, no, I will not have a nice day. My favorite, Dorothy.
And this one says, hang on. The older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana.
Rose.
Yeah, look how cute that is.
And the colors aren't exactly right. I ended up just using my own. I did my own and everything. Once I realized that I wasn't bound to anything, it became even
I think
more
these
fun.
2 are my favorite. Yeah. Her dress just is perfect.
These lines, like that one, I put all those there. I felt like it tied them in together.
Oh, yeah.
So I made the table brown. I put like that just under her feet. This was like already in that pattern. This was in that pattern. So I felt it kind of like brought some cohesion.
Yes.
Because I'm going to put them in individual frames on a shelf I'm going to have that has plants on it. Oh. And then I'm just going to put those in there like so.
So can you dye this part to whatever color you want, or do they sell different colors of it? Or
I don't know. I imagine they sell different colors. At Walmart, I think there was like that bright white, and then like these are pretty white. That's kind of like not so white.
Yeah.
And then there was like a beige.
Oh, okay.
So, but I bet you could color it or dye it or whatever you want to do.
I don't know why you would need to. I just wondered if it was cotton or
I don't know
what
it is.
So cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I was sad today because I was like, I don't have one to do. And I was looking at it and I was like, I need to start another one. You know, I thought I'll do one with all 4 of them in it.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, today didn't go as planned. I got a little interrupted. Because I've been making Mondays me days.
Oh.
I won't go over to the house and work. I just take a break.
Yeah.
You know, I do like my kind of housework, bed sheets, stuff like that. But so I'm like, I've got to make one of the other ones. It'll be fun.
I bought a year calendar. It finally came to go on the wall, big one. And because I don't want weekends to slip away from me. Because they do, like, if I don't have anything to do on the weekend.
We give it so much to other little time suckers.
So I want to look in like every 4 weeks, you know, once a month, every 3 weeks, I'm not sure. Make an actual plan. Now, the plan can get canceled. I'm not saying they have to be set in stone. But, like, to go to Mount Scott, to go here, go there. Right now I'm saving money because if Allison does move, that's going to, you know.
Yeah, that's going to take a
cost a little
effort.
But, yeah, since Biden's not giving us our $2,000.
I want my Biden money.
Me too.
Promised it. I believe he came out and promised it.
He did.
It's almost like he was a lifelong politician and he doesn't know how to keep his word.
Yeah, like he had experience in that or something.
He was in a meeting. He called a special meeting with the GOP today because he's like, well, we all got to agree on this for it to be able to pass, even though all you need is a simple majority. So they would just need all the Democrats in the House, and then all the Democrats and one other person in the Senate.
Yeah.
And they can push their little give everybody $1,400 plan.
Yeah.
Oh, but what we want to do is bring unity and come to the table. So we invited the GOP today, a special meeting this morning, and was going to consider, to be fair, their idea of just lowering the threshold of the income, knocking it down to $1,000. Like, we're just whittling away at that thing. And then you have the Democrats, $2,000 a month. Like that sect of the libo demos.
Yes.
Should we call them?
Libo demos.
But anyways, so it's good luck to you, sir. I would not want to be in the middle of that.
Because
they haven't taken the fence down around the Capitol.
No, they shouldn't. But I'm telling you, all my hopes, dreams, all my bills would be paid for if I could get that $2,000. My life would be perfect.
I want $2,000 a month entire pregnancy. Right. Presidency.
Yeah. And I'm going to squirrel it away and not spend it because that's what they would do.
Oh, they told you, for the short week he was in office, he was like, we weren't able to conduct a survey that said that people were just saving it and that doesn't stimulate the economy. I'm like, exactly how do you know what I did with my money?
Yeah.
So it's not cash.
Yeah.
Were you monitoring that checking account that I gave you to see what was going in and what was going out?
$2,000 spent immediately after, or the $600 spent immediately.
Apparently, if you were below this amount, you would spend it immediately, and if you were above this amount, you were hanging on to it frivolously.
Well, I'll pull it out so it looks like I spend it, and then I'll just stick it under my mattress.
I'm like, they're monitoring the checking. That's the only way they would know.
Yeah,
That's the only way they would know, unless they was like people that did it on cards.
People are just now getting their paper checks from the $600.
That's why I opened up a checking account for that. Because I was like,
yeah.
No, I will not let the
Ours is in that one that we use for just taxes and
that's
like if we get a loan from that bank, that's what that's there for. It's not for our daily. We actually bank at a totally different bank.
I'm telling you, I was like, we're not. So Gina was like, we are not getting the IRS our checking permission to use our checking account. Heck no, we're not. No way in heck. Because they were going to give it to you regardless. You know, they're getting you that money.
Yeah.
I didn't want the hassle of a paper check.
No way. Could you imagine going to Arvis and trying to cash the
hot check on their account? You know, made of rubber. Boing,
Beat
boing,
my
get it? It's bouncing. It took me a lot of years before I understood what a rubber check meant.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of terms out there I think I know what they mean and they don't.
I'll have to tell kids what a check is.
Yes, I've been saving all mine since you told me I could digitally deposit. I have just been keeping all mine just so that I'll have, because I have some at Granny
Nostalgia.
and Papa's,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, I'm just going to
Nostalgia.
keep them because it shows what it is.
It's nostalgia, man.
I saw someone
It'd be like a train ticket, you know?
Yeah, I watched a video in the 90s. They just walked around their house and recorded like a clock on the wall, the phone. They took cereal out of the cabinet and recorded all sides like this, right? And opened a checkbook and showed the deposit and the check. Like it was their personal thing so that they could look at it in 5 or 10 years to see how things changed. The dad just walked around the house recording toys. There was a hair bow. You remember the shoestring hair bows? One of those was laying on the counter and he picked it up, turned it over, and I was like, dang. Because everybody takes their selfie and they make sure that what's right behind them is just a wall or their friends. But you don't get to see, like we've talked about before,
the best photos
in
in the albums are the ones where you can see the couch or the person in the kitchen.
Or that soda can.
That's when I was dabbling in photography for a little while and people were wanting me to take portraits and stuff. I understood what portraiture was. Everybody wants a nice photo, but they were wanting me to go out while they threw leaves in the air.
Yeah.
Or it was all this gimmicky stuff. And I'm like, this is just sheer ignorance. And that's what they would have on their wall. And they were like, how come you don't take pictures of you guys? How come you? I'm like, the best pictures are the ones like the candids.
Yes.
That's what I want. Yeah. I don't want, leaves in the I don't know. Your kid is out, you rake leaves and your kid is
playing.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
But you dressed your kid up in a fall outfit, and we're going out there on a pristine fall day and the leaves are turning in the trees because we waited 3.5 weeks for that moment. And then, it was just, God.
Yeah. I do want to take a picture of Allison, Jeff Turner, and I, but I think I'm going to take it myself. I've got the tripod, so I think I'm going to just set it up, and I don't know if I'll drag 2 chairs outside or what, but I'm not going to pay someone to do it. Like, I just want, before they move out, I want one picture of us together.
Yeah, that's a family portrait.
Yeah,
that's
with Olive in it.
Yeah. That's good. I appreciate those things.
Yes.
I love the family portraits and stuff. But it's like, it just all took a weird narcissistic turn.
I don't want a picture of all of us looking at leaves, or worse, not looking at the leaves that are falling. Those creep me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Or the baby pictures that they put like pearls on them and stuff, and then they make them
look dead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. They'll make them look. Yeah, I don't get it.
Bundle them up in those things.
Yeah. I don't.
We all need this picture. Because you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't understand photography and its roots. If that wasn't your first baby picture, then I'm sorry.
We're swaddled by the finest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a long way.
I just drifted off into all these baby pictures. Like crap.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh gosh. Babies had alien hairs. That's all I would ever think. Like every baby picture.
Or be like, because they're just waking up.
The old lady that takes a picture doesn't care. And then we all had retinal deterioration from that flash.
Man.
Oh gosh. I also love school pictures.
Yes.
I love the laser backgrounds of the clouds.
Yeah.
Or, you know, as obnoxious as it is, or the kid, if you let them pick out their outfit, you know, like that freeze frame, you know,
nostalgic.
in time. Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. And there's a place for like leaf throwing, like in a Dillard's ad magazine.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like some publicity type thing, or but for your everyday life to remember,
especially when you have to go somewhere.
Are you remembering the leaves? Are you remembering that it was fall? Are you remembering the outfit that you paid way too much money for? Or what are we capturing?
Come here, sit down. That's what you're remembering is how you hated to have to yell at your
college.
kid.
Everybody, like, because, you know, for projects we had to use each other, right? And I tried to get creative. Like, I wanted these guys standing on the bridge, you know, and I got a cool one, and a guy hanging from the chain link, you know, looking at shadows, like things that I could do for fun. What everybody want me to take, and by on a rock by a river like this.
Contemplation. Now they just want to stand in the middle of the road.
The railroad track photos.
Yeah, those are super popular.
Yeah. I guess they'll be funny for memes.
They will be. You know you were new family in what, 2010? Yeah. Is that when they were popular? I keep picking up fuzz from the air. It's not really fuzz from the air, but something is in my eyelashes, and I can't. It's not you or your house.
It might be.
I think it's because I had to move all that fabric today, and it's just now.
I just noticed my plants. I'm gonna have to water them at some point. I even need to squirt Sophia's head. Her boss is trying.
Oh no, Sophia.
I don't want to be overly critical. Like I said, there's a time and a place for everything, but not every day, you know?
No.
Just not. I would rather have, like, a picture of me sitting next to my grandma on her couch.
Yes.
To remember forever with, you know, the brass embossed on the wood plaque 10 Commandments and the brass butterflies from Home Interior and just all that glory before something fancy.
Same.
Vacation photos. I mean, we used to really know how to do things and appreciate things and enjoy the moments. Now we don't. Kids today don't, because
there is no downtime to appreciate the uptime.
No. I forgot. You know, like Kimber's, I think she's big enough now. We got that bench seat in the front of the truck, so there's a seat belt in the center. I just set her in the seat belt in the center. I mean, she's like 6.5. Come on.
Yeah.
She's like,
oh,
like, it just drives me nuts that, you know, we can't even let your kid ride in the front seat. I don't get it.
I let my kids drive at 6. I don't know if it's still a law, but at 14, if you were on a farm, you could, at 14, get a license to drive on the road. Now, you weren't supposed to be all over town and out late at night. You were supposed to use it for work.
Yeah.
But nobody did. Nobody cared. They drove wherever they wanted.
I put Kimber on my lap and let her steer.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I do things within reason. I just don't know in the world. I don't get it. If it wasn't like that when we were younger, is it our fault? Did we do something wrong?
Yeah, I think every other generation swings far to the other side of the generation before then.
So we were overprotected because we didn't want anybody to get hurt.
Because we were the ones that were hurt. So it makes sense instead of bashing your head or busting your knees to wear a helmet. And I don't know that the helmet's our fault. I think it would be more of like our aunt's fault, that generation. But yeah, and then you get a laid back generation that doesn't care about something.
They
Whether
thought they
it's
were
the-
invincible because we spent all our time protecting
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
So they thought they just skirted through life and everything
Yeah,
was safe.
so their kids.
So now their kids are the ones falling
Yeah.
off things and breaking things and getting hurt.
I think it's the same, like, if you have a generation with wartime when it comes to paying bills, recycling, utilizing everything that you have, to those that were raised after a wartime when things were plentiful, a little wasteful. And then I think it might not be generation to generation, but I do think that has the effect on the next one.
Yeah, you're right.
Because, I think every kid goes through a thing. Something happens, good or bad. You think, I'm never going to do that to my kid. Or you think, I've got to remember that I have to do this for my kid because you enjoyed it so much, whatever it was.
Yeah. Man, a vacation used to just be somewhere in your car, sleeping in your car to get there. Like your parents would take turns driving because you weren't going to stop at a hotel.
Yeah.
And then, you ate sandwiches or just something along the way. The destination wasn't the food, or the local flavor. It was some amusement park or some
or even to get somewhere just to camp out.
Yeah.
So that you could be there and camp and fish and
see
swim.
the lake or the pond, and it was just good enough.
I had friends growing up that went on cruises like twice a year, like a summer and winter cruise, and I always thought, man, how? Why? Because to me, I never wanted to be on a boat. And back then, they regimented them so bad. You had to be here at this time, there at that time.
Still that way.
Is it? Yeah. I thought you had freedom to choose.
You have boarding times, like.
Oh, no, I don't mean getting on and off. I mean the activities on the boat during the day while you're on a cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have structured activities and you have to sign up in advance for them. Like you have to pick your daily activities.
Because when Gail went, she said they always had food out. You could eat anytime you want. And they had like a dinner time if you want to see dinner and a show kind of a thing. You had to sign up for that.
Caitlin and them, they go on cruises. She says that like the meals and stuff are only certain times. But you can get pizza and ice cream and
that's
pop.
What it is. Yeah.
Or like certain times of the day they'll have like a fruit bar or a snack bar like that they put out and you can come through. But like you could get pizza, ice cream, and pop. Like
I don't want to do any activities with strangers. I don't want to do any activities, and I don't want to be. Now, if I have to take a ship to get somewhere, that would be fine, like a form of transportation. But I don't want to do all the crap on the cruise.
Okay, I could do one of those river boats.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're getting on and off and just kind of taking your time down the coast or something like
I think Casey, when he took his cruise...
Because it's still American, I can just get off.
Yeah. They had a lot of ports of call.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be fun.
Yeah.
Because you're not like... Right. He flew there. I think he flew there, then took the cruise.
Caitlin says, like, when they leave... They've left in Florida. They've left in Louisiana. Louisiana and Tech is the one they usually try to do, and then sometimes Galveston. But it'll take 3 days at sea before they get to like where they're going. So you have 3 days of just being on the boat
with people that you may not like. Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I don't even like islands. How am I going to be on a boat for 3 days?
Yeah, that's not my thing.
I'm like you. If it was like, I'm just biding my time to get point A to B. Yeah. But that 3 days is supposed to be part of the vacation.
Yes.
That wouldn't be the vacation for me.
Yeah.
I would be throwing myself overboard. I know it.
I would just fly.
Maybe missing a lifeboat. I just don't think I can make it to 3 days.
Mm-mm.
I barely made it in that one boat we were in when we were on with that Y thing without jumping over.
Yeah.
It's only like 3 or 4. I wanted to end it.
And I
wasn't seasick.
Yeah, I have no problem riding in a boat or being on a boat. That's it. I don't.
The stupid people.
Yeah, just if you just leave me alone while I'm on the deck or whatever.
Yeah, people could just, if they had to leave them the hell alone spot where
I
you
would
could
be
go
there.
to, no one's allowed to talk to you. I'd
Yeah.
be okay. I just need a book or an activity.
Yeah.
But if people started coming by introducing themselves and looking dressed up because we're going to be on the boat,
I'd have the whole ship so confused because I'd be a different person every new person I had to introduce myself to. I would, because that's how
I think I would just wander around and ask everybody if they saw a chicken. Did you see a chicken?
Did you see a chicken? I was told it went this way. He's got a little knitted scarf on. And also, don't they assign you the table to eat with the same people? Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'd clear that table out so quick.
My sister said it was hell.
Yeah.
Like her and Glenn did a cruise. I think they did the Alaskan cruise, but she said that was amazing. Because again, you're getting on in Seattle, it's not that long and you know where you're. But when they did their cruise and they were assigned with another couple that was their age, that was supposed to have similar interests, and they had to eat. If they wanted to go to the dining room and eat real food, they had to sit with these people. I'd starve.
I wouldn't. It would just be complete silence after I talked for a little. I would start out with flat Earth. And then I'd find out what politician they liked, and I would hate them, whoever it was. I'd find out what their favorite color was and go, and go against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're Catholic, I'm Jewish.
They would ask me her name, I'd say Samantha, but Jeff would call me Stacy. Wouldn't allow them to.
It would be bad, man. I just don't think I could do it.
I think the only thing that would take me out was if there was a teenager there, because I wouldn't choose to do that to a kid, but they choose to do that to you. And that would be I'd have to dismiss myself, because that's something you get teenagers, you catch them off guard. You don't do that face to face. You wait till they're having a really good time and you go, and then say whatever you need to say in front of everybody.
Except what you were doing last night. But we're not going to talk about that. I said don't bring it up. Yeah. Messing people. And people would be requesting that my table be moved. And
yeah, that's exactly what the goal was. I would ask first if they could give me a table by myself, and if that was the no, then I'd be like, you had your opportunity. You're fixing to get some complaints.
And then they want you to dress up to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
I
would bring one sundress.
Yeah.
And that's what you would see.
Some people really get into that, and I appreciate that. Yeah. That's like where they can go, they can dress up with their husband or whatever, the girls, and have a nice dinner and go out.
If you're 60, it's cute.
Yeah. I'm not...
if you're 40, you should really just be in flip-flops and enjoying yourself.
I think I would go goth. Like the eyeliner, the chains, the razor blade. That'd be the way to go.
Sweater.
Walk in with Jeff. Some platform Doc Martens, ripped up pose. I could pull that off. Oh, Jeff would be in an OU t-shirt.
Formal. I thought it said flannel. That was the flannel thing. My bad.
I'd be like, I have lace underwear on. Is that not good enough?
It's my
formal. These are my high heels.
Isn't there a song about show me your thong or something about a thong, I swear. Let me see your thong. Get a real obnoxious fake tattoo before you go.
On my face. Yes. I didn't really know this person was inside me, but she really is.
Mine would have to be something subtle. I'd have to wear something that was like low in the back, and then I'd want like a card from Dungeons and Dragons. And wear large crystals and carry them on.
You put on your fancy wings to go to dinner.
It's the fairy time room. Damn it. Can't get this
This
right.
isn't Disney.
Fairy dining? No. Guess it's pizza
Well,
and ice cream for me tonight.
But you know who would be my best friend? Hopefully, everybody that worked on the ship.
The weird guy in the kitchen.
Making me whatever
He
I
would
want.
get the best food. Like, he would see to it. And then at night, you would sit on the deck with him and he'd tell you his theory about how,
Ooh.
you know, like Terminator's really not going to happen in real life because technology just can't work out.
True story. So you and I need to take a cruise because I figured out just now what we need to do. We need to take cruises just to watch people be crappy to the employees, and then we stick ourselves on them.
Revenge.
Because what are they going to do?
Not a damn thing.
We could even get a little ching-ching out of that. And we would never speak the whole time we were there. They wouldn't see us coming. They just think they were having a really bad day running into a bunch of Karens. Because, you know, I look totally different when I have my hair pulled up than when it's down.
We make Karens cry. I can do it.
I'll come up while you're into it with one of them and be like, is she? And pretend to be on their side.
They'll come up to me like, Mom. Mom! You know what the doctor said about your blood pressure?
They put us in a raft.
That's fine.
As long as I have my goth makeup on, because then I wouldn't sunburn.
We'd wash up in Cuba. It'd be good.
It would be good.
Yeah.
I'd get a cigar.
Havana Nights.
Yep. Yeah, but that would be what I would do. I'd watch some customer be crappy to some employee, and then I'd just be nothing but on the ocean steaming about it.
You know that.
And they trip going down the thing on the way out. Kerplunk.
Or like be waiting there to collect people's passports. Oh. And then you collect their passport and then you go sell it. Consuela.
Just throw it overboard. I don't need the money. Well, Consuela probably does need the passport though.
You know, that lady that when I would stand in line at Bill Wallace, that woman.
Yes.
Yes. I showed you a picture of her.
Yes.
I was two girls that were around that age, whatever Bill Wallace age is. I heard somebody being mean to kids in Homeland.
Oh, goodness.
And I was with Dean and Kimber, and I turn around, and it's her. And she's in, like, the drink section, you know, that's back there
in the corner.
And she has one of the girls, and they like, stand there stoic. Like, they don't move, they don't talk, they don't laugh, they don't joke, they're not kids.
Something wrong.
And she was like, I told you to stand over here. Because, like, that's the kind of, like, deep, rough, like, bitchiness that she is. Like, anytime she told anybody about her kids, it was like how her and her husband made them do something or wouldn't let them do something.
Yeah.
Like, my heart and her, I just wanted to ram her. So I did the next best thing. I walked over there pretending like I need the coat she was standing in front of and stood there awkwardly staring at her until she moved. And she was down a little further. I don't know, because I didn't want to cause a scene, because kids, you know, I know this is a life they have to live.
Yeah, it's just going to make it worse on them, because if they weren't, if they would have been acting right, you wouldn't have intervened.
But I thought if I could just distract her long enough to get her, you know, over her tantrum. It's almost like she just has no patience and a short fuse. I don't know.
She likes to be dominating that.
I can't imagine what an ass her husband must be.
Like, maybe she dominates him too.
I don't know.
Have you ever just walked up to somebody's cart and taken something out of it and stared at them the whole time you've done it? This guy was yelling at his girlfriend Oh man, this has been a long time ago. And I knew I could interject because I knew she'd be like, "Don't talk to my boyfriend like that." So I can't even tell you what I took out of his cart. She was on pushing it, and he was holding on to the end of it. And I just walked up and went, and watched him and dropped it in my cart. And I put my hand back on his cart. He was so dumbfounded. I just stared at him, and he shut up. And then I just wheeled away. And then I had to put that back in the store where it went. But I didn't hear him the rest of the time I was in there. He was a complete ass.
That's what you got to snap them out of their moment because their moment's about to just, go down.
And that could have gone. I don't reckon. I mean, it could have gone either way, but I was prepared.
Yeah.
Because technically he hasn't paid for it yet. And I would have.
Have to be buying this. I remember when Ashley was trying to get Kimber a T-ball helmet, and she wanted the pink one, and like a couple ladies were in her way and stuff, and she asked the guy, "Is there any way you can hand me that?" Like a guy that was working there was standing there, and the woman turned around and just grabbed it and put it in her cart, and the guy, like Ashley said, was probably younger than her. He just like grabs it out of the lady's cart and tosses it to her. I was like, "There you go." Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Some people though, I don't get it. They want to pick those battles in a public place.
Yeah, my first thought is always, what are they doing at home?
Yeah, see, now I got to go to my nephew's t-ball or baseball game, AJ and Ponca, and they told me that his coach was kind of a jerk, and that they should not have told me that, So I'm sitting there, and the coach is cussing, at the kids, and then it like escalates, and the parents don't like him anyway, but so he's just being jerkier despite it. And then he's the stepdad of two kids, and he shoves one of them down by their head and knocks them on the ground. And so here I'm yelling, "This is some bullshit." And one lady was like, "You shouldn't be cussing." I was like, "Oh, your coach can." I was like, "Apparently we don't care about our kids and what they hear here." My poor sister-in-law's under the bench. And my brother's like, "This is going to go down." Well, after the police were called, and I spoke with the kid's real father and told him the game was quickly ended. I was never brought back to mine. But AJ still thanks me for it because apparently he's like, "Remember that time you cussed out my coach?"
That means there's probably some other people talking about it.
I do.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I do. That one game of yours I got to see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't do that often, but there was something that didn't set right.
Yeah.
And so what happened was someone called the boy's real father. He came up and was like, "Did something happen?" And they were like, "Go talk to her." So he comes over to me and he's like, "They're saying
so
you'll tell me." And I was like, "Yeah."
Speak and not be.
I go, "Let me tell you." I go, "He's a hothead, but you already know that." I remember saying something to this effect that he wants to put a show on in front of people because he's so bold. Well, how's he treating your kids when you're not around? He's like, "Well, I don't think there's ever been a problem." I go, "Then you need to sit here and see what I see."
Yeah.
And then someone else had called the police.
Because he shoved the kid.
And reported it. And then they came and pulled the coach off the field and talked to him. I mean, they didn't arrest him or anything like that, but the kids left with their real dad. But I just think sometimes people just don't know those lines are crossing. And apparently for my brother to warn me about it, for all the other people to be upset that he's, talking to kids that way, and then a hardcore group to defend him.
Yeah, let me tell you.
I'm like, there's something here.
part of that for 100% sure is if any parent approaches him and asks him not to cuss or whatever, their kid will never play and they'll be completely abused on the field.
Yeah.
That's 100% fact.
Yeah.
So, like your brother was just like probably weighed it out and was like, well, every coach is probably cussing. Every coach is rough. We're not always guaranteed a good coach. Just let him learn it now and we'll move on, because it wasn't really affecting him, you know.
And it
but
wasn't.
When he shoved the kid and knocked him down, that's a line for sure. But they shouldn't be cussing.
No, well, even if he was just a cusser.
Yeah.
You know,
but
kids hearing cuss words. It was a, get your ass up there.
Yeah.
Like, that's no.
Yeah, he didn't stub his toe and let a word slip. It wasn't.
So some bitch in the audience was yelling things like, get your ass out of the way, maybe you can. Like, she was crazy.
That's Samantha.
That's right. I heard she likes to go on cruises. Aloe's not all over me.
Me too.
I'm just going to mutilate this thing. I don't
this
know
was like bright red, but it took the red out of it. I don't even know how I cut myself. But we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes.
We did good. We made up for the 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we better go before we incriminate ourselves.
Yeah. See you guys later.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.